Hey guys, so today is another beautiful but hot day here in Tucson. I think it's going to be like 90 today. Ugh, I can't even. Yesterday I decided I needed to run some errands and I was out in the sun, and let me tell you, I think I got sick from it. I've researched a little bit about that, whether or not you can get sick from the sun. And I really haven't found a lot of proof either way, but apparently, like, if you've had sunstroke, you're very susceptible to getting sick in the sun. And I don't think I've ever had a sunstroke, but maybe I have, and that's why I just get so drained in the sun. I can't hardly stand it. This morning I made the mistake of taking Smokey out at like 8:30ish, 9. Ugh. And it was just, he just was fast, thank God, because I did not want to be out there. And once we get back into the apartment, though, it's nice and cool, so that's not so much of a big deal. But also because of yesterday, I don't know what happened, but about 3 o'clock, no, about 2 o'clock, because it was after my exchange, I started feeling really sick. And I felt nauseous and, a headache. And I laid down, and I remember Ben texting me about 3:30 and was like, "Are you picking me up?" And I said, "Could you please walk?" Because there's no way I could drive. So I proceeded to lay down and sleep, and I just so exhausted that I couldn't basically move until about 5. And even then, after that, it was just like I didn't have any energy. I just could not get functioning. And my head really hurt. And when you're on dialysis, you have to be very careful about any over-the-counter medications you take, because it really does. Medications itself just wrecks your body, even though it helps whatever it is that it's trying to heal. So a lot of times I don't even take migraine medicine. I don't even think that there is one for me. I don't think I've ever asked, because I just don't like to take it. I'd rather tough it out, which is probably ridiculous, but there is, I want to say, asphenamine or something like that. Like, it's Tylenol versus ibuprofen, because ibuprofen is terribly bad for your kidneys. So we take the other one. I did drink a little bit of coffee yesterday, thinking maybe some of that caffeine would help remedy it, and it did not. In fact, I felt pretty nauseous after drinking some of the coffee, so I decided I better stop that too. And then today when I got up, I did not feel better at all. But I got Ben to school, grabbed the groceries, took Smokey out, and then just kind of been doing a couple of little things around the house. But I don't know what the deal is, man. It just really sucks. I know my kid and Charlie and everybody down there has had some type of stomach flu, so maybe it's just the time of season. I do know, like, sometimes people can get really nauseous and sick when they eat dairy items and then are out in the sun. That wasn't my case, though, so I don't know what happened. However, today, after picking up my groceries, I thought, I was kind of like asking my inner self, that sounds funny, but asking, like, what do I feel like? Like, what am I feeling like eating? Today is Friday, and so yesterday is pho day, and I did not have pho. I actually went to this new bar that they opened, and I was so disappointed in the food. And I felt so aggravated because it was like $25 for a drink and food, and it was yucky. In fact, I brought home half of it, and then I just threw it away. And I thought, maybe that is what made me feel sick, but I don't think so. But all the way around, it felt about the place. But today I was like, what do I feel like replenishing myself with? Because I'm not really that hungry, but I think I might be dehydrated. So nonetheless, long story short, I decided to make a cucumber tomato, avocado, a little bit of red onion, cilantro, and the recipe I followed on the Tasty app was drizzling lemon juice on top with a little bit of olive oil, salt and pepper. It was delicious. I did hard boil a couple of eggs earlier because I want to be able to make like a potato salad kind of thing later on. And so one of the eggs, like, it cracked when it was boiling, and I don't know if you're supposed to eat it or not, but it looked cooked, so I went ahead and ate that one, and then I labeled the hard-boiled eggs and put those in the fridge. That way everybody knows which ones are the hard-boiled eggs. And so yeah, it was delightful. Like, I feel really like light and refreshed, and you probably hear it in my voice that I feel very energized. I did go ahead and make some more coffee, and I had a little bit of it, but I'm drinking like a couple sips of coffee and then quite a bit of water, and then a couple sips of coffee, and then more water. So I can tell that my headache is going away, but I feel it still like right here in this area. And I've not really spent a lot of time like trying to decipher what headache means what, but I can feel that I'm thirsty. And another thing is that yesterday I was supposed to do my collection to show today at DaVita, which I actually went ahead and canceled that appointment because DaVita is like, it can be anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes away depending on traffic. And when you're not feeling well and you have a headache, migraine, that's the last thing you want to do. So I went ahead and messaged them this morning on our cool little message app, and I was like, I need to reschedule this. So I had actually collected my drains from yesterday, and when I was collecting the pee, I realized that I am not peeing a lot. I still am peeing. And on dialysis again, eventually at some stage, you end up stop peeing, which is crazy to think of, but it just happens. I think on hemodialysis, it happens much quicker than on PD dialysis. So I don't know. Anyways, but getting that collection and kind of being aware of how much I'm peeing, I thought I may not be drinking enough water. Maybe this whole headache thing and not feeling well is actually my body saying, hey, we're super, super thirsty. So that's why I chose to have kind of like a refreshing salad. I think when I pick up Ben, if I feel okay, I might run into Walmart and see if they have watermelon. I did get some strawberries and blueberries because I have Charlie tomorrow, and so I want to be able to have those fresh things for him to have as well. Let's see what else. Pretty much other than that, things are good. I did want to touch base on one thing. I was doing my exchange, and when you have, let me grab one real quick. When you do your exchange, you always have what's called a mini cap, and they come in these little guys like this. If you can tell, they're like sealed around the edges, and that's because this has to stay sterile. What's really cool about this though is that the mini cap itself, which is like this, has that redness in there. See that? That's oh, now I'm gonna forget what it is. It's the iodine. I was gonna say that red stuff that burns like hell, and your grandma would always want to put it on your cuts. So iodine is what is in this, and every time you get one of these, you'll have iodine in your cap. So when you are basically touching it, you have to be a little careful because sometimes there's a lot of iodine in here and it will drip on your clothes. Usually you have a lap pad, so that helps. Could drip on your carpet, you know, your floor, whatever. Sometimes behind me and where my trash can is, there'll be like little specks of it on the wall, and you can just take your bleach and clean it off. It comes right off. But it can look like blood, so it can be feeling like scary if you're like, whoa, what is that splatter on the wall? But the reason I point this out is because, I don't know if you can tell in this, but if you can tell, there's red in there. My camera's probably going to pick up quite a bit of the red, but the reality is that it's not very dark at all. This one is very light, And so if you get caps like this, my suggestion is to throw it away, because to me, your iodine is the killer of any infection or any bacterias that can go into your port end. I know, like Beth always says, to kind of push these around a little bit so that you can see if whether there's a seal that's broken. And if the seal is broken, don't use it. Don't even risk it. Another thing is if you get a couple of them where the seals are broken, you need to take the entire box and don't use it, or like look through them all, because that means that there's something wrong. I would call Baxter and tell them, or whoever's still, you know, providing your caps, and let them know. Your dialysis center should actually have extras for you to be able to take in case that happens, because this is vital. This is not like, don't mess around with this, because you have to have this as your barrier. You can't not have a cap. So when you pull it open and you're like getting it out, see, there's a big difference. See how red that one is? This one's a good one. This one's great. This one, not so great. You can kind of tell the difference. Let me see if I can, there we go. Yep, so this one is good and this one is not good. And like I said, if you get these, don't even use it. I just throw it out because there's no point. If you drop your cap on the floor, don't use it. You've already contaminated it and you don't want to risk that at all. So anyways, that's my little tidbit for the day. So much is going on in my life in the music world right now. But I do want to become more diligent in doing these videos, because I've had people ask, like, where's your videos? So anyways, I want to make a point to do a video every day. It is May, so it's always a busy month. It's going to be graduations, Mother's Day, birthdays, all kinds of different things. So anyways, I guess I will talk to you guys later. You have a good day. Drink your water, and I mean it. And even to myself, like, holy crap. All right. Bye-bye.